Florida. If you don't live here, you might know us for our beaches, our resorts, our golf courses. But that's not the Florida I grew up with. Behind the stereotypes, there's another Florida. A hidden Florida. And it's full of surprises. My name is Alex Fries. I'm a science educator and a sixth-generation Floridian. As a kid, I spent a lot of time in Florida's wildlands. But even during my lifetime, many of these areas have changed or disappeared, and often kids don't even know they exist. For our wildlands to survive, the next generation of Floridians needs to know about them, love them, and protect them. That's why I'm taking 3 high school students on an expedition through the wildest places in Palm Beach County on Florida's southeast coast. 70 miles in 7 days, hiking, biking, and kayaking from the headwaters of the Loxahatchee River to the Atlantic Ocean. The most amazing thing about this expedition is that these are public lands. They're ours, and young people are going to decide what happens to them. I'm not sure how these students will feel about the wilderness we see this week, but I'm hoping they'll fall in love, just like I did. I was a little nervous starting the day. We had been planning this expedition for months, but this was my first time actually meeting the students.
The main thing that made me want to apply is that I heard it could go on my resume.
I've never camped in my life before. I thought it would be a great opportunity to go out in the wild and learn and explore new things.
I did love the challenge of it. Freshman year, I was about 300 pounds. I didn't like people having low expectations. I wanted to apply because it was like a checkup for me to see how I was doing.
Physically, this was going to be the toughest day of the expedition. We started at 5:30 a.m. with a 4-mile hike through gorgeous flatwoods. After the hike, we met up with our bikes and saddled up for 16 more miles on gravel roads. Oh my gosh, he's so pretty. You guys! Look at him. He will not bite you. I'm holding his head.
My favorite part of the day was absolutely the snake. They are such beautiful, incredibly interesting animals. It was really cool to share that with the students.
Oh man.
All right, so you can look at his head first.
Right here?
Yeah, so, yeah, and you can just gentle pinch.
Never held a snake before in my life. I've touched one once before, and that was it. I think that was just a step of, doing something a little out of my comfort zone.
Look at you. Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah. He's good. He's just adjusting his mouth.
So that was pretty awesome, and I plan to try some other new things too during this trip.
And you think snakes are rough, right? The one I picked up was soft. Like, touch some silk if you have some on you right now, like your do-rag. It felt like that. A snake felt like that. That's wild.
Towards the end of the day, we met up with Stephanie, a wildlife rehabilitator who works with local birds. Stephanie brought a guest with her, a beautiful black-crowned night heron.
This guy came to us suffering from botulism toxin.
Oh no.
Somebody wants to help me grab him out of here. This guy specifically was found on the side of a pond, laying there. He came into the facility, he got fluids, he got pain medications, antibiotics, and within 3-4 weeks, he's popped back up now and he's ready to go.
That's great. All those birds that are in that cypress dome over there, so those are all cypress trees, and they have formed this big bunch of cypress trees that we call a dome, and that's where birds like to go in the evenings and roost. And roosting just means hanging out, chilling with your friends, sleeping. Yeah, it's like a social. Yeah, it's like a social and like a rest thing. There's safety in numbers too, so think about
Those birds were not just sitting there. They took 5 packs of Uno from Walmart and just started playing.
Cortez is a firecracker, and having him on this journey has just brought a smile to my face at every turn.
Honestly, I'm very confident. I think I'm gonna keep my own pace, not really mess up.
I really like the other expeditioners. They're really nice, caring, and compassionate, and they're always there to help me.
I'm feeling great about the rest of the trip. 6 more days. I think we all got it. It was a great first day, and I think it's gonna be an amazing 7.
Hi! Thank you so much for meeting us.
Very nice to meet you.
This is the gang.
My name is Mark Cook. I am an avian ecologist for the South Florida Water Management District. I've set some traps up last night, so hopefully we'll catch some different kind of critters. And if we're lucky, one of these giant salamanders, an amphibia or a siren. Yeah. Be prepared, it's actually quite wet out there. We've had a lot of rain, especially in the northern part of the county over the last few months. So it's going to be a sort of a wet slog out there.
Walking through a Florida swamp is like walking back in time. Ferns and cypress trees and bright pink lichen and sawgrass. It's quiet, but at the same time, so packed full of life, you couldn't possibly see it all.
Mark's job is to keep track of the creatures that live in this ecosystem and study how they interact.
When we went through the swamp, I was very interested because I've never seen that type of environment in my life before, and I did not expect it to be in Florida.
Kiana at first was a little quiet. I think she maybe was probably the one who'd spent the least time in the outdoors.
I've had a okay relationship with nature. Like, I enjoyed keeping the world safe and clean. I had a rough relationship with certain things like beetles and roaches.
Honestly, she has impressed me so much. There's been a lot of challenges, and she has just steadfastly pushed through all of them.
All right, so guys, let's go now have a look at some of these traps and see what we've got. Maybe if one of you could just hold that steady, and then I'm going to grab the trap. Oh, you got some stuff in there. You've got the jackpot. All right. This is the giant salamanders I was talking about. This is called a two-toed amphibia, and we know that because it's got very small legs. These are really secretive. We only really find them in traps. Yeah, you can touch it. Just try touching the rear end of it. Yeah. I mean, no one really even gets to see these things. They're incredibly, I can't pick it up very well. They're incredibly slimy.
The two-toed amphibia is an amphibian. Its eyes are almost useless. They really feel around with sensory organs on the front of their face, little sensory pits.
Yeah, it was fun going out with Mark, seeing the amphibia. He had to put out bait, and then all the fish and the beetles got into it. One would have 5, 6 fish, and then another one would just have 20 chilling in there.
Unless we had put these traps out, we never would have seen.
Most people don't even know these things exist.
You can touch the back of its tail. All these small fish and invertebrates eat even smaller creatures in the marsh. Then they become food for birds like the black-crowned night heron we saw last night. Everything out here is connected in a web of food and resources. Even the botulism that had poisoned the night heron was transferred through smaller creatures it had eaten. Once you start learning about these connections, you see them everywhere.
They can live for many, many years. I think 15 years or something. Yeah. They're super slippery.
Nothing is cooler than a cryptic swamp critter. Getting to share that with the students, I think that will remain for me one of the top highlights of the trip.
Tonight I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very focused, very excited. I've already learned a lot of new stuff. My brain's full, keeping it full. Just how I like it.
The The past 2 days, we've seen how animals are connected through food webs, specifically in a type of ecosystem called cypress swamp. We're still at the beginning of our journey, but I can already see that Kiana, Cortez, and Noah are starting to feel a sense of ownership and responsibility for this area. After all, it's their own backyard. Over the next few days, we'll see how this area connects to other Florida ecosystems. Follow the rest of our journey in the next episode.